Today we will be focusing on balancing our last of 7 chakras, which is our crown chakra, also known as the Sahasrara Chakra. So we're going to start in lotus position by crossing your legs and having your feet on opposite thighs. Go ahead and place your hands on your knees or your thighs and just gently shut down your eyes. I want you to just become aware of the breath without immediately wanting to control it. Just letting it be. Feeling your belly expand when you inhale and shrink or sink in as you exhale. The crown chakra is symbolized by a lotus with 1,000 petals, representing becoming one with the infinite. Its theme is all about working on our highest self. Now slowly bringing awareness back into your body. On your next exhale, just take your left hand and gently place it on your right knee and bring your right hand behind you, coming into a gentle twist. Inhaling to bring space into your spine and exhaling to twist a little deeper. And just doing the same thing on the other side. Right hand on your left knee and bring your left hand behind you. And on your next exhale, gently releasing, unwinding, and coming onto your knees. We're going to keep our hips up towards the sky and just walk your hands towards the top of your mat, coming into puppy dog pose. And if you want to go a little deeper into your shoulders, go ahead and tent on to those fingertips. On your next exhale, go ahead and gently release. We're going to make our way into tabletop, coming onto your hands and your knees. And when you get there, reach your left arm up towards the sky, roll out the wrist, and then thread it behind the right, coming onto your left shoulder and left side of the face. And if it's comfortable, go ahead and bend your right arm and place it behind your lower back, coming into a half bind. When you're ready, gently releasing, bringing your right hand back to the mat, stretching your right arm up towards the sky, rolling out that wrist, and then placing it back onto the mat. And we're just going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Right hand up towards the sky, roll out the wrist, and thread it behind the left, coming onto that right shoulder and right side of your face. Maybe adding that bind if that's what you did on the first side. Making sure your hips are staying in line. And when you're ready, gently unwinding, bringing both hands to the mat, meeting in cow pose. So inhale, drop your belly, bring your tailbone and gaze up towards the sky. And then exhale, start to round your spine, bringing your chin to your chest, coming into cat pose. Doing this a few times. Inhale, cow, adding any movement that your body needs. Exhale, cat. One more time, inhale to cow. Gaze up towards the sky. And then we're just going to bring our sits bones back towards our heels and grab on to the bottom of our feet, coming onto the crown of your head and lifting your hips up towards the sky. On your next exhale, gently releasing, coming into child's pose, opening up your knees, bringing your sits bones between your heels and reaching your arms towards the top of your mat. And then go ahead and walk your hands towards the right side of your mat, maybe placing your left hand on top of your right, really stretching into that left side body. Breathing here. And then same thing on the other side, walking your hands towards the left of your mat, maybe placing your right hand on top of your left, and breathing into that right side body. Gently releasing the pose and making your way into downward dog. So pushing into the mat with your hands and feet, straightening into those legs and lifting those hips up towards the sky, and then bending one knee at a time, walking out the dog, and adding any movement here that your body needs. On your next exhale, go ahead and come onto your tippy toes, gaze up towards your hands, and then as slow as you can, walk your feet up towards the top of your mat to meet your hands. When you get there, bring your feet together and just grab for opposite elbows, coming into ragdoll pose, letting your head hang heavy. Playing with the weight here, again adding any movement. You can sway your hips side to side. You can bring the weight into the front of your toes and then maybe back into your heels. And just slowly start to roll up one vertebra by vertebra, letting your head be the last thing to come up. When you get there, roll your shoulders back, turn your palms forward, and bring your feet together. On your inhale, gaze up towards the sky, reach your arms up. And then we're going to start to sink our hips back, coming into chair pose, almost sitting all the way down, and then sweeping your hands down to the mat, rounding your spine, bringing your chin to your chest, and then coming back up into Urdhva Hastasana. Just flowing through this a few times, so sinking down into chair pose, kind of like a wave, and then coming back up, reaching those arms up towards the sky, gazing in between your thumbs, and then sitting back into chair pose, bending those knees, bringing your hands to the mat, and then instead of coming up, go ahead and straighten your legs, coming into forward fold, and then inhale, halfway lift, bring your palms above or below your knees. Then exhale, place your hands back on the mat, step your right foot back, drop your right knee, and then strong core, inhale, bring your hands up above your head, maybe adding a back bend here if it's comfortable. Then exhale, bringing your hands back on the mat, stepping your left foot back to meet your right, coming into plank pose. On your next exhale, drop your knees, chest and chin to the mat, Ashtanga Pranam. And on your next inhale, making your way into high cobra, so pushing into the mat with your hands, keeping your elbows bent. And then exhale, slowly bring your body all the way down. Inhale, high cobra, gaze up towards the sky, keeping a bend in those elbows. Exhale, waving all the way down, just flowing through this a few more times. Inhale, letting your head hang heavy and having it be the last thing to come up. Then exhale, drop down towards the mat. And on your next inhale, come all the way up, making your way into upward dog, bringing your knees just a few inches off of the mat, gazing up towards the sky. And then on your next exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips towards the sky, coming into downward dog. Pushing into the mat with your hands, and just go ahead and bend into that right knee, stepping it in between your hands, coming into runner's lunge with our left knee dropped and the top of our left foot pushing into the mat. Inhale, strong core, bring your hands up towards the sky, maybe adding a back bend here if that's comfortable. And then exhale, frame that front foot, tuck your left toes and step your left leg forward to meet your right, coming into halfway lift, and then exhale, forward fold. On your next inhale, slowly roll all the way up, bringing your arms up above your head, and then just grab for opposite elbows gently. And we're going to inhale, bring some space into our spine. We're just going to make a big circle with our body. So exhale, bend over to the right side of your body, and then fold forward, and then come up on the left side. Inhale, bring some space into your spine, and just doing that over again, starting with the right side. Folding all the way forward, and then coming up on the left side. And then just doing the same thing, but the opposite way. So starting with the left side, fold forward, and then coming up on the right side. Inhale, bring some space into your spine. Exhale, fold to the left, fold forward, and then come up on the right side of your body. When you're at the top, go ahead and just gently add a back bend. And we're going to come into forward fold, but interlacing our hands behind our back. So start to hinge at the hips and keep those hands interlaced. You want to keep your palms together. And on your next exhale, gently release your hands, place them on your mat, step your right foot back, drop your right knee, and then strong core. Inhale to bring your hands up above your head, adding a back bend here. Exhale, frame your front foot and just straighten into that left leg, flexing your left toes back towards your face, coming into half split. And then inhale, bending into that knee, gazing up towards the sky. Exhale, straighten that leg, half split. Inhale, bend into that front knee, maybe sinking your hips a little closer to the mat this time, shining your chest forward. And then once again, exhale, straighten into that leg, making sure the hips are staying squared. And then once again, inhale, bend into that knee. And we're just going to step our left foot back to meet our right, coming into plank pose, making sure our hips aren't dipping towards the mat. And then exhale, drop your knees, chest and chin to the mat, keeping your hips up high. And then inhale, straighten into your legs, shine your chest forward, gaze up towards the sky, upward dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward dog. Lift that right leg, bend that right knee, and then step it in between your hands, dropping your left knee. Inhale, strong core, reach your hands up towards the sky, adding a back bend. And then exhale, frame that front foot, and then just straighten into that right leg, flexing your right toes back towards your face. Inhale to bend the knee, gaze up towards the sky. Then exhale, straighten into that leg, making sure the hips are staying squared. Inhale, bend into that knee. Then one more time, straightening into that right leg, flexing those right toes. Inhale, bending into that knee, tucking your left toe, stepping it up to meet your right, coming into halfway lift, keeping a straight spine. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale to slowly roll all the way up. Roll your shoulders back and then bring them just above your head, gazing up towards your thumbs. And keeping your arms up, start to hinge forward slightly and then step your right foot back behind you, coming into crescent lunge with our arms reaching forward. And then exhale, tee out your arms, coming into warrior two. Back foot is parallel with the back of your mat. Inhale, reach forward and then back, coming into reverse warrior, just resting your right arm on your lower back. Exhale, straightening into that front leg, placing the back of your left hand towards the inside of your left ankle. Arms are in a straight line here. And inhale, wide-legged forward fold just as a transition, and then bend into your knees, point your toes out slightly, and slowly roll up into goddess, bringing the palms of your hands together, maybe sinking your hips a little lower, and always coming back to the breath. When you're ready, straighten into your legs, parallel your feet, hinge at the hips, and start to fold all the way forward, gently grabbing for your ankles and bringing your head towards the mat. And maybe just walking your hands through your legs, bringing them to the left side of your mat, and just settling into this pose here. When you're ready, gently releasing and walking your hands over to the top of your mat, stepping your right foot forward just a few inches and straightening into that left leg, coming onto those right tippy toes, and then coming back down onto that right heel, keeping a micro bend in that front knee. We're going to place our right hand on our mat and lift our left hand up towards the sky, and then taking your left peace fingers, wrapping them around your left big toe, coming onto the outer edge of your right foot, pushing into the mat with your right hand and bringing your left leg up towards the sky. Your knee can be bent here, or you can straighten into that leg if it's possible, making sure your hips aren't sinking towards the mat here. And when you're ready, slowly release, coming into downward dog and just letting yourself rest here for a moment. When you're ready, slowly start to walk your feet one by one up towards your hands, keeping your hands on the mat for as long as possible. And then when you get there, coming into halfway lift, and then exhaling into forward fold. Slowly inhaling, rolling all the way up, bringing your hands up above your head, gazing in between your thumbs, and keeping a straight spine, hinge forward slightly, and this time step your left foot back behind you. Modified crescent pose, we want to reach forward with our hands and then exhale to open up into warrior two. Back foot is parallel with the back of your mat. Inhale, reach forward and over, coming into reverse warrior. Left hand is gently rested on your lower back. And then exhale, start to straighten into that front leg, bringing the back of your right hand on the inside of your right ankle. Arms are in a straight line. And on your next inhale, start to walk your hands to the middle of your mat, point your toes out slightly, bend your knees, and slowly roll up into goddess, really sinking into those hips, bringing your palms together and in front of your heart, and just settling into this pose. And then making your way up into standing, parallel your feet, interlace your fingers behind your back, and then start to hinge at the hips, folding all the way forward, letting your arms hang heavy, and just letting yourself be as stagnant or dynamic as you need to be. Gently release your fingers and walk your hands towards the right side of your mat through your legs. And then slowly make your way to the front of the mat, framing your front foot, hands stay on the mat, and just folding over that right leg while keeping a micro bend in that front knee. And then we're going to open up to the right side, bringing our right hand towards the sky. And then taking those right peace fingers, wrapping them around your right big toe, coming onto your left hand and the outer edge of your left foot, and just bringing that left leg up towards the sky. You can straighten into the leg or keep your knee bent. Make sure you're lifting your hips away from the mat, and then gently releasing, making your way into downward dog, resting here for just a moment, coming back to the breath. And on your next exhale, go ahead and come onto your forearm, starting with your right hand and then your left, placing your hands on the mat, or if that's a little uncomfortable, you can always interlace your fingers, which I like to do. Start to walk your feet towards your face, and we're just going to go back and forth, coming on to our tippy toes, and then sinking our heels back on the mat. Again, on to your tippy toes and sinking your heels down. Now go ahead and drop your knees and bring your sits bones back towards your heels, reaching out your arms to the top of your mat and resting your forehead on the mat. And when you're ready, roll up into tabletop. And then placing your forearms back on the mat, we're going to interlace our fingers, and then we're going to bring the top of our head to the mat and place the back of your head in the pocket that your hands make, setting up for headstand here, really pushing your hands into your head. And then we're going to lift our knees off of the mat, start to walk your toes towards your face, and you could stay here, or if you want to go deeper, maybe bend one knee into your stomach and then the other. And if you're balanced here, go ahead and lift one leg up towards the sky, making sure the toes are pointed, and then maybe lifting the other leg, coming into full headstand, really pushing into the mat with your forearms, keeping your core tight and flexing those glutes. And if you're balanced, you can add any movement that you want here, or you can stay stagnant. You can bring one leg out in front of you, one leg behind you. You can open both legs out to the side. You can bring both legs behind you. Whatever your body's asking for, have fun with it. When you're ready to come out of headstand pose, just slowly step both feet back on the mat and make your way into child's pose, bringing your sits bones on top of your heels. Let's keep our knees closed and bring your hands just down towards your feet, and let's look towards the right side of our mat, releasing all that tension from your neck. Now go ahead and look towards the left side of your mat. And when you're ready, we're going to slowly make our way into puppy dog pose, bringing your hips up towards the sky and stretching your arms forward towards the top of your mat, letting your chest sink towards the mat, and maybe tenting onto those fingertips if you want a deeper shoulder stretch. Then just gently releasing, coming up, making your way into seated position however you want to get there, and then scooting forward, laying all the way onto your back. We're going to take both of our knees into our chest. Give yourself a big hug. And then extend the right leg out in front of you, keeping the right foot flexed. And then we're just going to cross our left leg over the right side of our body, reaching your left arm out to the side, gazing over your left fingertips, just letting yourself settle into this pose. Now gently releasing, bringing both knees back towards the chest, and then straightening out your left leg, keeping your left toes flexed, and then taking your right leg and stretching it over your side body, reaching your right arm out to the right side and gazing over those right fingertips. And when you're ready, gently releasing, straightening your legs, bringing your arms to your sides, taking up all the space on your mat, maybe placing one hand on the belly and one hand on the heart, closing down your eyes, and just start becoming aware of the breath. If any thoughts arise, know it's okay. Just let them come and let them go, always coming back to the breath. Now slowly coming back into your body, reach our hands up above our head, take a big good morning stretch. And then from here, making your way into seated, however you want to get there. Now whatever seated position you're in, go ahead and place the back of your hands on your thighs, keeping your eyes closed here, and again, just focusing on the breath. It is up to us how we explore the great wonders in our body, its life force, its subtle centers we call chakras. We can either deny that they exist or learn to understand, work, and awaken them in order to live a more fulfilling life on planet Earth. That is a quote by Raju Ramanathan. When you're ready, bring both palms together. Just start to rub them towards one another until you feel heat in between your hands. Once you're there, just bring your hands a few inches apart, imagining a big ball of energy in between them. Give this ball a color, give it a feeling. Now bring your palms together, hold that ball from the bottom, and then bring it up and place it on the top of your head. Now imagine you can see all this good energy flowing throughout your veins, flowing throughout your whole body. Then bring your palms together and your thumbs to third eye. May love and light guide your thoughts. Bring your thumbs to your lips. May love and light guide your words. And bring your thumbs to your heart. May love and light guide your actions. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Namaste.